I'm doing like a writing vlog, but I'm also doing a routine vlog at the same time, but I don't know if it would be called a vlog. I don't know what it is. Hi, welcome. I'm Jade of Jade Juniper. This is my channel where I do reading, writing, and a lot of rambling. Today, I have actually been doing a lot of preparing because over the past few days without vlogging, I've been doing a bit of a writing routine, and it's been really nice and really helpful. But I also wanted to share my writing routine, so I've been filming that, and in tandem, filming this, because I wanted to also have an interactive video. The other video is going to be a voiceover that will lend more explanation for my actual routine that I'm doing. This is more of a talkative video where I talk through some of the things I am actually doing. Right now, I am on a codename chapter called Dinner in Book 2 of the Solstice Court in the Thrice Kingdom trilogy. Book 1 is the Solstice Court, which is a cozy political fantasy following a princess named Kezra who lives in a peaceful kingdom, but both kingdoms on either side of her are at war, and she is meant to be a neutral party. Unfortunately, neutrality may or may not exist, so she's going to have to grapple and figure that out in the first book, and then leading into a second book. Quite a few things have gone down, so I am dealing with the repercussions of all of Kezra's actions and all of the other people around her. Everyone's in a bit of disarray. I was listening to the playlist this morning. I needed to add a few more songs on there because there is a nuance missing in this book's playlist that needs to be addressed. Book 2 has a lot going on, and I'm trying to get it all ready for my editor. My deadline that I have imposed upon myself is the end of August, and it is August 4th right now. It's gonna be a process, but I'd love for you to join me this morning and see a little bit of what I'm doing. And it's nice to just catch up and see what other people are reading and writing and doing. I've been trying to post more regularly because I do enjoy this part of my community, is the talking part. In fact, the only reason I'm able to talk to you right now is because one of the rules of my writing routine is that I'm allowed water breaks. And I have made it to the halfway point of my water this morning, which does allow me a 10-minute break, which is why you're here with me now. It's a fourth wall break. So far, what I've done is I've read over my last scene that I wrote about a week ago or so, and I've wrote a little bit of the next scene. I'm still in the codename Dinner, but I'm in the next scene within Dinner. My goal for this next week is to finish Dinner, Drum, and Garden, and another one called Mind Palace. Codename Mind Palace is actually one of the first chapters that I need to rewrite. I needed to figure out a little bit more of the language and Laura, which is one of my 3 kingdoms. I have done that now, and I can go back and I can rewrite a scene that's pretty sparse. But I'm doing that after I've made good headway in Drum and Garden. I'm going to go ahead and write a little more in Dinner, hopefully get to Drum, and then stop there, and I'll check back in because once I finish Dinner, then I can research for Drum. I know that this sounds like nonsense, but I feel like this is the only way I can talk to you about a sequel to a book that isn't even out yet. I'm back. I did cut away because I finished the scene and then I went straight into the research because there was something I really wanted to look at as I got started on Drum, and I wanted to have the go-ahead beforehand. So I wanted as much research as I could get done because Dinner definitely leads into Drum, and I really want to have Commodi solidified and understood. I need to understand them fundamentally, how they work. If you don't know what a Commodi is, that's fair, considering I think only a total of like 100 people even have access to the Solstice Court, but Commodi are my dragons. So they're a draconic creature, and they don't go by the term dragon, they go by Commodi, and they're a type of drake. So they do not have wings. They have a lot of other things that I've been trying to figure out, and I also need to figure it out because I'd love to at some point have art of them, and understanding like, I can't just design a dragon and be like, that looks cool, and that's the end. Like, my brain just doesn't work like that, and because my world feels very real to me, sticking something in there without any understanding behind it, whether I explain it or not, just, it doesn't jive with me. I can't do it. I've been looking up pangolin, and this has been a fun thing for me. I'm not going to go into it as much in this clip because I actually have a newsletter that I'm going to be writing. This is like 3 different videos are happening right now. As I film today, I'm doing a morning routine, this vlog, and then I'm also making content for my newsletter because I'll have behind the scenes extra information going into the world building. So that's going to be for people who are really invested in the Solstice Court. They want to know more. They're looking for those snippets or extra bits. dragons. So I'm not going to full on explain my Komodai in this video, but just know there's pangolin involved now, and that is a twist I did not see coming, but I'm really excited for. I also got some inspiration from my Draconathon Discord. If you don't know, Draconathon is a dragon-based readathon that myself and Soleil host. It's happening right now, and the dragon Discord is poppin' with dragon facts, information, dragon news, movies, TV shows, books, of course. I just got some interesting facts about Komodo dragons, which is kind of the base concept for my dragon, but we are combining creatures now, and it's becoming really fun. If you are interested in knowing more and you want to commit to a newsletter, I have the sign up form down below. This is just an interest list, so you won't immediately receive a newsletter once you sign up. You'll be on the interest list, which will sign you up for my first newsletter once it's up and running. I think it's going to be seasonal, so I'll have one per season, so only 4 per year. I'm only gonna do 4 newsletters per year because that's what I know I'm capable of. But I am very excited for it, and the moment I started figuring this out and writing down some of my ideas for the Komodai and my master notebook, this is like has all the lore that's like canon for the Solstice Court, the Thrice Kingdom trilogy. I realized I was like, this is something I would actually want to share with people who like wanted to know. Very excited for that. I have finished the research. I can't go any further. I've written in my notebook and I need to keep going. So I am going to start on drum, and once I finish that scene, I'll see where I'm at timing wise and water wise. If I finish my water, it's kind of like my end all be all timer, or if I get to lunch. If I get to lunch, then I'm done for the day. I'm only writing in the mornings right now. Again, if you haven't caught my morning routine or my writing routine for August, I'll have it linked down below and, you know, up there everywhere. But overall, I'm feeling good. I'm getting things done, and I'd like to get more done. I'm at a point right now, I'm still writing the scene, but I think I'm just like talking things out. I'm noticing I keep shifting back into my MC's like mindset from book 1. But she's had all these things happen to her. She's reacting differently, but I'm noticing because I have focused so much on book 1, it's hard for me to click back into her headspace and where she is now because so much has changed. Like she can't go back to how she was before because like these things that happened to her were really intense and really big things. This is a cozy fantasy, but it's also a cozy political fantasy. I don't think cozy needs to be low stakes. Some of my favorite books have had amazingly high stakes and I've considered cozy. I think that that is an aspect that can come into cozy, but I don't think it's an end-all be-all rule. I think it's how you are comforted by something and how a certain topic is addressed can make something feel safe and okay and interesting to look at without feeling traumatizing. And so like that is my goal with these books. It's supposed to feel that way. It's supposed to have the feeling of wrapping you in a safe space and then having a really important conversation. I think that's how important conversations should happen anyway. I feel like they should be done in a safe and controlled environment that you can get things done and you don't feel attacked. In book 1, we're very much so addressing the fact that Kezra lives in a neutral kingdom. What is neutrality? What does that look like? Is neutrality an ideal? Is it a concept, or is it something that can actually be put into place and into action? Can someone be truly neutral, and what are they giving up and doing in order to gain that? I have high stakes in that because it's something I gravitate to. I am more apt to become neutral to something in order to try and not hurt either party, but in doing that we start talking about what is complicit and what is pacifism. These are all really important topics, and I'd much rather do it in a very nice autumnal kingdom where they have cider and warm fires and giant oak trees growing out of the stone floors, pillow fights and sleepovers and sneaking out and having fun, first love. I'd much rather talk about my issues in that setting. Book 2, we're talking about some of the same concepts, dealing with them in a different way. We've got the fundamental understanding of what's happening and we're moving forward into this next stage. And it's really hard for me personally and for me to understand my character because she's gone through something that I haven't. And exploring that with her and trying to like click into that empathetic feeling, and I didn't really notice it to that extent in my first draft or even my revision draft where I like kind of cleaned up like the lines and editing. But now I'm going in and I'm double checking my motivations and I'm double checking how my character's actions relate to who they are, and I'm catching some of my own reverting back, which has been really interesting and frustrating to be perfectly honest. I just wrote a scene that felt frustrating. I noticed how I had written the scene originally and I am having to kind of check myself on that, and in that write something different, write something more, which is really fun once I've written the something more, but I'm in the middle of writing it, and I decided to take a break to tell you all about it, which totally isn't procrastination. I'm totally gonna write it, like, right now. Thank God for foils. If you don't know what a character foil is, it's a character who is kind of in contrast to another character, usually the main character, to kind of like highlight the protagonist's qualities, their flaws, what they're doing in a situation, and kind of like reverberate it back to them. They're like a mirror. And I kind of needed this, and the perfect foil showed up to say exactly what I needed to say and kind of like put my character in check, and it really moved the plot forward, which means that I can get to drum within drum, and I can't tell you how excited I am for you to meet Drum because Drum is not an object. Drum is a name, and I'm just, yeah, I'm really excited. Character dynamics is one of my favorite parts of this because, like, it's so much easier to bounce some of these ideas off of another character, another person, and I really love my characters because all of them are so different and fundamentally flawed that there's always someone to check another one or to, like, see that in the other person, and even if they're seeing it through their lens, it's still able to be, like, seen and explored. And, like, it's also why I write multi-POV. Something that I know that I stand by is how I write multi-POV, because I always need to write from the most interesting perspective and the perspective that best gives the strongest understanding of like what you need to take away from a scene, and it's not always going to be the main character's perspective, because I don't believe that my main character is the only main character in my story. This is her story that is being told, but everyone is having their own stories that are going to overlap with hers, and sometimes their scene, their story, is something that's important and more important than hers. She's not the most important person in the world. She's the sole heir, but you know what? I would not be the first one to tell her that that doesn't mean jack sometimes. Sometimes it's the maid's story that's most important. Yeah, I really do stand by my multi-POV writing. My prequel story is going to be first person, past tense, but I don't plan on leaving her perspective, and I'm really terrified for that. But right now, I don't have to play in that field. That's not my problem for today. Today, my problem was getting my character on track with her emotions, and someone else helped her do that. We could get into the fact that it is me, but that's not fun. So like, it was someone else. It wasn't me. I don't want to deal with my emotions. I didn't have to deal with my emotions today. I like glugged half of my remaining water so that I could try and finish my water before I had to finish this scene, but I couldn't do it. I wrote the scene instead. Okay, I'm actually going to leave it here today. It's going to be a short vlog. That's just kind of how it's going to be. I want to do more of these, and I want them to just kind of be like my little morning writing things. I don't know if they'll all be this in-depth or random, but I'm really enjoying writing this, and it was a lot of fun. And if you had fun too, go ahead and consider picking up the first book, the Solstice Court. It comes out on the equinox, which is September 20th. If you feel like this is a story meant for you, you are more than welcome to sign up for my ARC reading list. I am still taking ARC readers if you'd like a chance to send out an early review. Otherwise, there's also pre-orders for the ebook copy. And yeah, I think that's all for now, but I will see you soon, and until the next one, bye!